What's up, y'all? So I want to list 9 pros of the MacBook Pro and 9 pros of the iPad Pro. Number one, we're going to start off with the MacBook Pro just has better multitasking. It has a bigger screen, so it's more screen real estate, and you can have more than 4 apps open at once. On the iPad Pro, you can only have 4 apps open at once, and most of the time, I hear a lot of YouTubers say you can only have one audio source. That's not true. I play video games and I listen to YouTube or I watch Twitch and play video games, and I have audio coming from both. Most cases, you can only have one audio source. If you have audio going on one app and you open another, the previous app, the audio stop. But if you're playing video games, you can still game and have your in-game audio and have like a YouTube video up, or if you have something in another app, it will still play. Number two, the MacBook Pro has better battery life. You got 18 hours of battery on the MacBook Pro versus 10 hours of battery on the iPad Pro. Number three, the MacBook Pro has better speakers. You got a 6-speaker surround sound system on the MacBook Pro. It really sounds like the audio is coming from around you. The iPad Pro has really good audio as well. It's no slouch with the 4-speaker system, but it's obviously not going to be as good as the MacBook Pro speaker system. Number four, the MacBook Pro has better file management. Finder is way better than Files. A lot of people that use the iPad Pro that wants to use it as their main and only computer, they want to switch to using that way, but they can't because we don't have Finder on the iPad Pro. Files is not going to do it for them. Number five, texting Android users. You can't text Android users from the iPad. My dad is an Android user. My mom has 2 phones. One of her phones that she uses a lot is an Android. I can't text her on my iPad Pro, but I can text her on my MacBook Pro. Number six, the MacBook Pro has more ports. Depending on what MacBook Pro you got, that'll change the number of ports you might have will vary. The iPad Pro only has 1 port unless you got the Magic Keyboard, and that only one of those ports allow data transfer. Number six, the headphone jack. A lot of times I don't need the headphone jack, but the MacBook Pro does have it for the times that I do need it, so I like to have that option. On the iPad Pro, if you want a headphone jack, you have to have a dongle, which defeats the purpose of the iPad Pro's portability factor when you have to carry more things with the iPad Pro. Number 8, the MacBook Pro has an active cooling system. My particular MacBook Pro, the M3, has 2 fans. Now, the base model M3 has 1 fan. The iPad Pro M4 doesn't have a fan. None of the iPads have a fan, but the iPad Pro M4 has a copper Apple logo to try to help with the cooling. In my experiences with gaming, the M4 iPad Pro runs just as hot as the M2 iPad Pro. It doesn't have active cooling, so that can only work, but that can only go so far. Number 9, the MacBook Pro is just more stable on uneven surfaces, whether you have it in your bed, if you have it in your lap. Now the iPad, if you're playing games, depending on what you're doing, if it's something you can do with one hand, is a lot more comfortable to use. But if you need some stability to type in your lap or type in your bed, the MacBook Pro definitely takes the cake there. Now to 9 pros about the iPad Pro, and now we can get to the versatility. The iPad Pro is just more versatile. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can stick that bad boy on the fridge. You can hook it to a Magic Keyboard. You got the Magic Pencil that I'm gonna get to in a bit. It's a touch screen. It's just more versatile. Number 2, the iPad Pro is more focus based. When I'm on my MacBook Pro, I find myself in a lot of different apps. I got so many different windows open. It's easy for me to get sidetracked. But with the iPad Pro, if you don't have Stage Manager on, you got one app open at a time. And even with Stage Manager, you can only do so much. That screen is only but so big. Number 3, the iPad Pro has a cellular option. MacBook Pro, you can't get a cellular option. Number 4, the iPad Pro has a rear camera. That's something I never used. I was like, people actually use the camera on those. I never use it until this year when I started this YouTube channel. I use it to record like a second angle. I'm using my iPad right now. Number 5, the iPad is just more fun. It's a lot of things that we could do on a MacBook, but that we rather do on the iPad. It's like a big adult toy. Number 6, now we'll get to the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil is amazing. The MacBook Pro cannot compete with the iPad Pro in taking notes, and for artists, the iPad Pro is a no-brainer. It's way better for artists. Number 7, the iPad Pro for gaming. way better. These games are designed for the iPad Pro. Whereas on MacBook, they get ports, and I have yet to find a MacBook Pro game that I like. And I game a lot. I get paid to game on Twitch, and I never ever try to game on my MacBook Pro. Now I know there's people who do. They do all that extra stuff. I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna just play on my iPad Pro. If I want to play PC games and do PC things, then I'll go back to PC. I had a PC for 9 years that I used to stream. Number 8 for me, FaceTime to me is better on the iPad Pro. On my MacBook Pro, it's always something weird going on with the audio. Now, mind you, I got AirPods Pro and Beats Studios and all that, but the audio is always something. If I want to talk to somebody and watch something on my MacBook, it's always an issue. On an iPad, I never have a problem. Number 9, Face ID. Face ID is on the iPad Pro. The MacBook Pro has Touch ID, which is fine, but it's not Face ID. And I don't know how well Face ID will go on a MacBook Pro, being that the screen is right in your face. You know, with the iPad, at least sometimes it's flat and you lift it up. I think I would end up just scanning my face on things and making purchases on accident. I actually have a number 10. I know I said 9, but who does math anyway? I got a number 10 for the iPad Pro. It's more apps. It's just more fun apps. The iPad Pro is like the iPhone. I don't got as many apps as the iPhone, but the iPad just have more apps. That's it.